right, let's get into it. What's a good difficult game mean to you? I'll kick this off.
Yeah,
A good difficult game means I'm not playing it.
well, I don't mind a good difficult game if there's a difficulty level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But obviously, like From Software, their games are difficult. But, and some people like to play games like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But also, most people play a game to enjoy it, not to be stressed over it.
That's what I'm saying. I got wife, kids. If I'm playing a game, I just want to relax and just throw on
Right.
the game. I'm a medium difficulty person. I'm a
Right.
medium difficulty. I don't need to go to hard. I'm a story person. I want to see the story. I want to learn about it, the world and everything. And then once I beat it, then I might bump it up to hard if I really enjoy the game.
Yeah, right.
I'm like I said, but I'm not a person who, as soon as I get a game, I'm like, let's put it on hard. Like, I don't want to face a boss 72 times before I beat it. That's not enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
And if that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't judge. If you judge me, I don't honestly care. But yeah, I'm not a heavy on the difficulty person.
Yeah.
So
for me, a good difficult game is a game that forces me to think and to use my resources and abilities differently depending on who I'm going against. The issue I have with what I see with most Souls games is you're just sitting there rolling repeatedly because for some reason they can't attack you or something like that. That's manipulating the game mechanics in order for you to beat this boss. If you have to do that, the game's not appropriately difficult. It's just hard for no reason, and you're just manipulating the limitations of the game in order to be successful. My favorite example of good difficulty is, I believe it was Arkham City, where you had to face Mr. Freeze. Or maybe it was Arkham Knight. I can't remember.
It was Arkham City. It was Arkham City.
Yeah.
Where whatever tactic you used the first time to hit him the first time,
couldn't do it the second.
He learned you can't do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to think. All right, so now I got to do this. Okay, so now that don't work no more. I got to do this. You have to think. You have to adapt, and you can't just rely on your tried and true methods in order for you to win.
Now, see, I can accept that, and I enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, oh, this boss one-shots you, and you can never get hit by it the moment you make a mistake, I don't enjoy that.
I agree.
So, a game I played, Cuphead. Cuphead was very difficult.
Yeah,
I've heard
very difficult.
I heard that too.
But there was a strategy to every boss.
Yeah.
And it was difficult to play, and it sucked to constantly die, but it was like, I have to figure out the strategy. I got to figure out when to jump. I got to figure out when to do this. I got to figure out when to go here, when to go there, when to go. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But if you're just making it difficult just for the sake of being difficult, I don't find that enjoyable, which is why I don't play FromSoft games. So, but like, if it's a mystery you got to figure out or something you have to, a way you have to defeat the boss without it just being, as Malik said, just constantly do this over and over, then I enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
so I can agree there. And you feel accomplished when you finish those, when you figure those kind of things out.
Yeah. And this, to me, stretches across any game. Like, I've had a concept for a AI difficulty model in my head for like a combat sports game, like a boxing game or MMA game in my head for years. I just don't know how to implement it, where they pay attention to what you do. If you always do this combo, eventually they're like, I'm going to counter it. Because you're always doing this. So if you want to beat me, you need to change your tactics. You can't just rely on, I do this combo and that combo. And, or if you're playing like football, you can't just rely on this one play because the CPU doesn't know how to beat it. If you move the players a certain way, you should know how to play football. And manipulate, okay, they're playing this coverage, I need to beat it this way. Not, I'm going to run this play and hot route things a certain way, not because you're beating the coverage, but because the game just, from an AI standpoint, doesn't know how to handle it.
And I think that's the coach in you and even the coach in me, that we would rather have to strategize to figure things out, because that's what coaching is.
Yes.
When you're in the game, like, I'm trying to outcoach the other team's offensive coordinator. I have to figure out what to call next to stop his offense. And it's so when you transfer that over into games, then we're like, well, I'd rather have to figure this out other than it just being hard to be hard.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's one of the reasons why I don't play sports games online.
Mm-hmm.
Is because people don't play that way. They play in a way to, however, if I run this play, no matter what you do,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to get open because the game doesn't know how to handle it.
And for me,
that annoys me.
For me, I think that's why Madden has been less enjoyable than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, it used to be like you had to like figure, like, you play on all Madden, you're like, all right, I know I can't go deep every single play and just throw it up and catch it or blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, okay, you can't do anything. They just made it almost, they made it like almost enjoyable. Like, you can scramble with your quarterback and you go get 3 yards, you get hit. Now every time your quarterback's fumbling, and it's like, that's not realistic.
Yeah.
They're not fumbling every single time. You know what I mean?
Or like, that's one of the things with like football games that bother me is all of a sudden you got a 84 speed corner keeping up with a 99 speed receiver all of a sudden and catching up because the difficulty just makes him able to catch up. Like,
or you throw the ball deep and your receiver's looking over his shoulder and the defender's 5 yards back, and all of a sudden the defender just turns and jumps and catches it. You're magically, like, what?
Yeah, and they just magically catch up. You're like, no, he was beat. The throw was good.
Yeah.
It's not like, you underthrew the ball or something like that. The throw was good. Mm-hmm. Everything works in the way that it should, so this pass should, unless the receiver drops the ball, the pass should be completed. But then all of a sudden the corner magically can catch up, or the safety magically runs over. Like, that's not real difficulty.
Yeah.
That's just trying to make up difficulty with my whole idea of difficulty is it should be something that I should be able to do myself. If I cannot do it myself, you are not properly difficult. If I'm playing a fighting game and they're throwing out combos at a rate that is inhumanly possible, that is not properly difficult.
Right.
Because you're doing stuff that a person cannot do. So that's always been, I think, it should be top player possible. Like, there's a YouTuber, Kurt Benkert. He's a former NFL backup quarterback. He plays Madden like an NFL quarterback, and he shreds people apart because he understands how to read the defense.
Right.
He'll immediately say, okay, they're doing this, so I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, I'm reading from here to here to here. And he does it, and he shreds people apart. That's good football. You'll go and watch some other random YouTuber play, and they're just manipulating the play because they know the game can't do whatever, can't cover whatever they're doing. And it's not a tactic thing. It's just a limitation of a video game.
Right.
And that's poor difficulty.
I mean, I get there's people that they enjoy that challenge. And that's fine, but you got to understand, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that's your way of relaxing is being challenged, that's cool.
But it ain't for
that's
everybody.
cool. But it's not for everyone. Obviously, it's not for us. But it's just always funny when people are like, "Oh well, I think the game should be like that." And I'm like, "But why do you care? If you're going to put it on the hardest difficulty, why do you care if there's an easy mode?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what do you care for?
Exactly.
Like, we can see in your achievements, if anyone ever even still looks at those things, you beat it on the hardest level. Good for you.
I've never even looked at my achievements.
I about to say I never looked at mine either. I don't even pay attention to them at all. I don't even care. But
real quick, the one you said, how, like, what was it? The one game you said, like, the fighting game. You said, like, if you do the same thing, it will eventually realize it and make it do something else. You know, Def Jam Fight for New York did that too. Like, you kept doing the same thing against someone. Eventually, they will see you have to switch it up.
Yeah.
You know, like, I thought that was a cool. And also, another one I like is the Quantic Dream games. When you have like a split second to make a decision how it's going to affect your game. Because it's like, oh shit, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to jump in the water? Am I going to stay on the boat? Am I going to duck from getting shot at? Like, like, I like stuff like that.
That's
too.
what I was saying. The mysteries or like the figuring stuff out. I enjoy that. But like I said, when the game is just hard for the sake of being hard, I don't enjoy that. And like I know there's people that do. That's cool, but you know. I would probably play some of these games if they had some type of difficulty level. Like I said, I'm a medium person. I want to enjoy the story and the gameplay.
It doesn't make you better because you beat the game on super hard and someone beats it on very easy. It doesn't make you any better.
Like, you want a cookie?
Yeah,
you don't get nothing for that. Like, you know,
like,
pat yourself on the back and be happy.
Like, I think the only one of the games I remember, like, if you played on super easy, you couldn't play the entire game. I think it was Golden Axe. I think if you played on super easy, you only played like the 3 stages. But I think if you wanted to go all the way to like stage 8, you had to put it on like obviously like at least medium or like that. But other than that, like, it doesn't make you any better because you beat it on super hard. Like you said, good for you.
I remember South Park had a game where you customized your character, and depending on their skin color was the difficulty of the game. Like, seriously, so it was like the darker you got, the harder the game became.
Course. Makes it harder for us.
I was like, that's funny though.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Like,
The only South Park game I played was the one on 64.
Yeah, I played the multiplayer mode. I didn't even play the single player mode.
Yeah, that was
where you peed on the snowballs.
Yeah, that was I had that game, but other than that was really it about like like for instance as far as that or South Park. But
they had it on in the gym the other day. And me and Jazz was on the treadmill next to each other. And I don't remember what was happening. Oh, the lady, like one of this like old woman had her legs behind her head. And Jazz is like, bro, look. And I'm like, in the gym? Like, what?
Yeah, they play anything in the gym, man. Whether it's stupid Fox News or stupid CNN.
Oh, I'm glad they don't do that.
I'm like, turn that off. Nobody want to see that. Like, you know what I mean? So
apparently people do.
They do.
The people that's some people's whole personality.
Yep.
Whole personality. That's some loser shit. But hey.